It happened in 449 Anno Domini until 1066 Anno Domini. So start from the middle of the 5th century until the middle of the 11th century. And we go to the next session is about the third part of our video is about some important events or points in old age of British history. Okay, so this is our discussion for our class today actually. So this is the old age British history. Is also called as Anglo-Saxon era. When is that happened? That happened. It happened in 449 Anno Domini until 1066 Anno Domini. So start from the middle of the 5th century until the middle of the 11th century. So what are the important events? Okay. It was started by the Germanic invasion in 449 Anno Domini. Germanic invasions? What does it mean? Yeah, Germanic invasion here is called as the invasions of Anglo-Saxons. Anglo-Saxon, so you will questioning in your mind, who are Anglo-Saxons, right? So Anglo-Saxons is a Germanic tribes consists of three tribes. At least the first is Angles, Saxons, and also Jutes. But they are certain to simplify those three tribes become Anglo-Saxons. Okay, they were from the northern Germany, Denmark, and also northern Holland. The Anglo-Saxons push the Celts, the beginning one, the Celts, where they left by Roman, the Celts over there. They push the Celts into far west of the country. So, what are Anglo-Saxons society like? Anglo-Saxons lived in tribal groups, so they don't live alone or solitary, but they live in tribal groups with a high class of warriors. Kinship groups led by strong warriors, kinship groups led by the strong warrior chief. The brave and the strong one will be later. Kingship emerged as society developed. People farmed, established local government, produced fine craft work. Well, English emerged as a written language. Anglo-Saxons spoke Old English before it becomes the modern English as it is today. And this was the language of, the Old English was the language that Beowulf was written in. So Beowulf is one of the literary work of Anglo-Saxons, and we will discuss it later after this part, okay? Okay, continue. Anglo-Saxons become Christians, but still valued heroic ideals and traditional heroes. Their culture valued human contact, family, virtue, and good story. They feared humiliation and loneliness in their lives. In addition, the Anglo-Saxons desired richness, power, appreciated heroic actions of warriors. Okay, next we talk about the Anglo-Saxons religion. We divide this into two parts. First is the early time, where we know that Anglo-Saxons religions offered no hope of an afterlife, and Anglo-Saxon religion valued earthly virtues on bravery, and then loyalty, after that generosity and friendship. Similar to what we call Norse mythology. Actually, in Norse god, they have Odin and also Thor, while in Anglo-Saxons, gods are Woden and also Thor. Well, next we go to the next sessions of the religion of Anglo-Saxons is about the coming of Christianity. Yeah, over the 2 centuries, many Saxons turned to Christianity, and hundreds of churches and monasteries were built. The monasteries were centers of learning, where monks and nuns devoted themselves in studying the Bible. Okay, we go to the next part of our video, and this is the last part about the important masterpiece and the characters of literature in old age of British history. Let's start. So, Anglo-Saxon literature began as an oral tradition. Stories, poems, and songs were all told aloud and passed from generations to generations orally through minstrels, also called as scopes. So word of mouth. Next, poems traditionally had a strong beat, alliterations, and no rhyme. Well, caesura, or a cutting or a break in a line of poetry used in Old English to depict a half line. We used comma for modern effect. Okay. Next, kennings, derived from the Norse word is kenna, which means to know or to recognize. It is a compact metaphor that functions as a name. For example, whelm, burned, or helm bearer, or it refers to the warriors. Okay. Next, we go to the masterpiece of Anglo-Saxons. When we talk about the literature or literary works in Anglo-Saxons, so we are gonna talk about the Beowulf. Maybe you are familiar with that word. Okay, so Beowulf is a character in that poet. Actually, it's a poet. It's a poem. Beowulf travels to Hrothgar's village to save them from Grendel, a terrifying monster eating their warriors. An epic battle ensues with Beowulf as the winner. Of course, Grendel's mother comes seeking vengeance for her son's death. Again, Beowulf is called upon to save them all, and he fights heroically and defeats the evil monster. After being vastly rewarded and refusing an offer from Hrothgar to be his heir, Beowulf makes a long trek back to his homeland, where he becomes a mighty and generous king for many years. He fights a massive dragon who is threatening his people. He and the dragon both die in the struggle. But he is heroic until the end. Well, that was a glance about the Beowulf story. Okay, next, why is Beowulf important? Well, it is important because it is the sole survivor of a great epic tradition. It is a great poetry. It is an archaeological relic which is most interesting. And it is also as a linguistic document, it's full of revelations. The epic poems Beowulf strengthened the heroic code. This code was derived from the Anglo-Saxon Germanic roots and called for strength, courage, loyalty in warriors. It also required kings to be hospitable, generous, and have a great political skills. This code was a basis for Anglo-Saxons' honor. Okay, well, that was about Beowulf. Well, another one is about common themes of the epic poems. What is the common themes in the epic poems? So this is about good versus evil, like in Beowulf, right? Beowulf versus Grendel. Next is about courage and honor. Beowulf is fearless and brave while fighting the monsters. And also, it is also about gods or semi-divine creature, like Grendel's mother, and also the dragon. Okay, the tale involves the fate of an entire race. So in this case, in Beowulf saves Hrothgar village from Grendel. Okay, so that is about the theme. Okay, and now we talk about the pagan versus Christianity in Beowulf. Let's see about the pagans and also Christianity in Beowulf. Well, the Anglo-Saxon mix both pagan and Christian traditions. Beowulf contains traces of both beliefs. Let's see in pagan beliefs. So the pagan, strong nature present. So here in Beowulf, the nature have a really strong the presence inside of the story. And then another one is about the strengths of warrior. Warrior, yes, strength of warriors. Beowulf is one of the representative of the strengths of the warriors. And the next is about Christianity. Okay, the points of Christianity in Beowulf is God is mentioned by two of the main characters in the poems, Beowulf and the Hrothgar. Grendel as Lucifer, both are outcast, perform a task for God, and then Grendel as described as a son of descendant of a chained, a clear biblical reference. Well, that's all about Old English history and literature. From the explanation before, we can conclude that the old age of British history is really close related with Anglo-Saxons, the tribe from Germany. They bring the culture, they bring the religion, they bring the beliefs and go to Britain, and then they get together in Britain, and then they make a society there, and then after that, what happened to them in Britain and in old age of history, British history, and it also influenced about the literary work. In this case, we discuss about Beowulf. So Beowulf is one of the representative of the literary work which also reflect the history of old age of British history, where the pagan culture and also the Christianity can be seen hand in hand inside of the literary works. So the Beowulf is really can be the reflections of the society at that time. Okay, well, I think that's all what I can say, what I can explain in this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, so that you can get the information for the next video. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't forget to click the notification icon. Well, I think that's all. Thank you for your attention, and I close. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you in the next video.
Terima kasih sudah menyaksikan video pembelajaran ini. Jangan lupa like, komen, dan subscribe, serta nyalakan tanda loncengnya agar kalian tidak ketinggalan informasi update lainnya. I hate body.